The banks are coming for your yields today, and they're building skyscrapers to the gods on top of you. Today, we'll break it down. Let me thank our sponsor today, and that is Coinbase, where you can actually get some yield. So go over to Coinbase.com, use our link down below. If you're a business or an individual, does not matter. The future money is here, and you get a bit of a bonus when you do sign up and make your first trade. So get active in crypto. If you have not done it, what are you waiting on, guys? Well, one thing that is happening right now out there in the market, you would think we'd be out there earning trades, doing business deals, all those kind of things. But instead, we got JPMorgan building new buildings. They have a $3 billion skyscraper that's opening up a 24/7 coffee shop. I can't make this stuff up, guys. Let me go to a clip that kind of explains this. And it ties into crypto. So take a look.
Katie, you're there in the new shiny buildings. What do they look like? And we assume, hopefully, no cockroaches to be found.
It is big. It is grand. I have not seen any cockroaches. 10,000 JPMorgan employees will have 60 stories, and it will also have a pub on the 13th floor that is called Morgan's. And
if it has a gym, if it has a pub, if it has restaurants, it seems like you could live your life in the new JPMorgan headquarters.
And I don't think Jamie Dimon would necessarily be opposed to that. Actually, right across the street, now they plan to spend $1 billion renovating that building as well. That will open in 2027.
If you look at Jamie Dimon's net worth, $2.8 billion. So again, this is all being built on fee structures that are usually collected by these banks. Clearly, they're making a little bit of profit here. Let me go to a clip. This goes into the extravagance around this building and kind of this point of this is all about Jamie Dimon. Take a look.
Wow. JPMorgan, really you, Jamie, demonstrated tremendous courage. Jamie, thank you.
As Rob said, he was courageous. More importantly, his courage is contagious. I'm usually scared of everything. The building of this building was significant to us, but to him it's small in his achievements. He was generous with his time and effort. Jamie was the spirit that illuminated the building. Jamie was the de facto architect. And Jamie was and is the de facto developer. If the banking thing doesn't pan out, he'd make a great developer. He's selfless. He made egoless decisions. He didn't have to move. He was comfortable where he was. He gave this city back a little swagger. This was not about him. He didn't want it to be about him. It's about the future of this firm. A patriot, the greatest CEO of the modern age, Mr. Jamie Dimon. Thank you, thank you.
I don't know if I could step up after that. I would have to probably leave on that one. But here's what's happening in New York when you think about all of this pressure and the elites going a little bit overboard here with this. We have the mayoral election rolling in, and it pretty much is a slam dunk. And this, of course, is Zohran Mamdani, who is going to become the new mayor of New York. And this is the kind of thing that is pressured New Yorkers into voting for Mamdani. Now, I want to go to another clip. This will get into Dimon actually kind of gaslighting us a little bit around being involved in the government. Take a look.
There's a New York City mayor race happening. What are your thoughts on Mamdani probably becoming the mayor?
Oh, this is wrong, what I'm about to say. JPMorgan cannot get involved in local politics because we have pay-to-play rules, and there are multiple rules, by the way. And I've asked my general counsel, I ask her all the time, like, doesn't that violate my First Amendment rights? And it's wrong. There's something wrong with that. There's somehow I can't speak up and I can't fight for what I believe in New York City because we do business with the government. It's a sick system, and it's why we all question government. If you're going to make it a fight, make it a fair fight.
All right, you want to switch topics? I'll let you off.
But by the way, if he becomes mayor, I will call him and offer my help. It may be that he asks for help in a way I refuse to do it.
Love it. That is great leadership. Thank you. I think we need more of that.
Just so we're clear, they are involved a lot. And if you look at the Bank Policy Institute, this is, of course, one of the biggest lobbyists out there. You can kind of see there's Jamie Dimon right there in the middle of it. So they're already active. And let's not forget that the ABA is also being supported. The ABA, you know, those good guys, the American Bankers Association, they want to take your yield from your cold, dead hands. Well, they're also involved in there. Marianne Lake, who is the consumer and community banking over at JPMorgan Chase, involved as well on that board. And we're continuing to go further into this because this is all about yields, guys. This is about taking yields from the crypto community who has been basically fighting for this for the last multiple years. And we're finally at that point where we can get these, and they're now trying to take the Genius Act and turn it inside out so it appeases the bankers. Well, this is the bankers talking about that very point. Take a look.
I think we're making great headway, actually, and this is not about relitigating something that's settled. This is about ensuring banks continue to be in a position to support their communities. A detriment to that would be allowing the likes of Coinbase or Kraken to pay interest on payment stablecoins. How do you feel, Jess? I mean, there's lots of good momentum here.
No, I totally agree.
Who are these people? This is a problem that I think is going to continue to swelter, and it might be the issue that we're dealing with on the Clarity Act right now, where there's a lot of pressure going on both sides. We put out a tweet yesterday. This, of course, was the Federal Reserve Governor, Waller, kind of talking about this very point, and he was, again, talking about the banks, that you couldn't disintermediate them. You couldn't disintermediate the banks. So this is not a security kind of scenario. This is the Fed talking this stuff now, guys. So I get very upset about this. This, of course, goes a little bit further. This is a clip on the Fed Crypto Summit where banks were lobbying to get these yields dropped. Take a look.
Why should or shouldn't we have regulated yield-bearing stablecoins in the United States?
Well, the answer is we do. They're called tokenized money market funds. We think the Genius Act got it right, paying out interest. That obviously introduces more risk, but Circle's always taken the position that it's a security.
It's clear to me that the intention behind the law was to prevent stablecoins from earning interest. If stablecoins are allowed to pay interest, they pose a threat that is equivalent to, but potentially far greater than money market mutual funds did. We should just get about prohibiting people from paying interest, whether they call it rewards or anything else, right?
The banking system is not at all ready for it. Bank of New York is certainly one of the largest institutions that's like the gold standard and I don't actually see like a use case today for like stable coins and consumer wallets, because we also are having this intersection of Fed now that actually works today. Adoption isn't that great, but that actually does exist.
So I can almost guarantee you that when you open the floodgates for people to get that type of yield on the US dollar, I mean, the yield will go down, but it'll still be high. It'll still be very high.
It's good. It's good that I'm a moderator, not a panelist.
This is going to get really nasty, guys, because it will put some pressure, I think, on the crypto markets in general, because it will look as though you've been rug pulled. I know I would feel that way. And as we see right now, being able to get yields on USDC in almost every account out there, the other likelihood is this starts to push things into DeFi, which really kind of repositions the finance market anyway. The only problem is that's going to be a slower uptake versus being able to go into banks and get USDC and yields on that. And I think this is a problem that the banks are trying to understand and how to deal with it. They are not ready, unfortunately, as usual. And that's where we are right now. Well, Eric Trump has been fighting this fight for a while. And here is a clip where he's talking about these monopolies and how they're trying to reposition against them. Take a look.
Why does a bank get to hold my money and earn interest on it, for 72 hours over the course of a weekend? Under my father, interest rates at the time were like 2%, right? I mean, who wouldn't take 2% money from a bank? And I'll never forget going through 120 days of Know Your Customer with a bank that I had been doing business with for 25 years. The battle I'd like to win against the big banks is I'd like to see them gone in such a big way. I would like to see them totally irrelevant. There's no reason these big banks need 10,000 people in a skyscraper with lavish executive offices. Guess who's paying all those expenses? You and me. Guess what? They're paying an extra 1 or 2% in terms of interest fees to fund these buildings, to fund these antiquated systems, to fund people pushing paper all over the country and all over the world. It's not fair. And the virtual monopoly that 4 or 5 banks have over all of America, I think that's going to come crashing down in a very large way. And it's coming. It's right there. And I can see it with every aspect of my heart and soul. I can see it right in front of me. And we are going to win this race. The people who believe in this right now, we are going to win this race.
I hope Trump is right in the point of they fight you, because this is the kind of the scenario that has been played out here. We are dealing with a very formidable foe here, and that is the banking lobby, one of the largest and the most aggressive when it comes to DC. The crypto lobby getting their ground under them, but they're not there yet, and I think this still has a lot of ways to go. So it is going to push people into alternatives. One of them will be DeFi. Here's a good example right here over on Doppler. RLUSD Vault's available at what is right now 7 to 10% coming soon. You've got not only that, but you've got this playing into it as well, where we are seeing ridiculous amounts of yield being paid out there in DeFi. So this eventually becomes mainstream. And once people understand it and they start to really activate on it, you're going to see Gen Z moving in this direction, I think, in a big way. And that, I would agree with Eric Trump there, is that this is just a matter of time. It all eventually changes. One thing that I want to get to is this scenario right here, and this is the OCC review of Ripple's banking license. The statutory deadline for the OCC, this is ending at the end of the month, so October 31st, that's when all this ends, or October 30th when all this ends. And if you look at the statement here, it says, upon approval, Ripple could quickly operationalize the Ripple National Trust Bank immediately. So this would be a huge hit and begin to tear down these traditional banking titans like a JPMorgan, and that's not where it stops. This right here is one of the reasons. JPMorgan and Brad Garlinghouse, they got beef. Brad Garlinghouse basically said JPMorgan coin would miss the point of crypto. No one would use it in other banks. So clearly Dimon is not a fan of Brad Garlinghouse. Neither is Brad of Jamie. So this could get pretty tense over the next little bit. Let's watch closely, because we are at the point right now where all of this begins. You guys don't want to miss all of this here on the show. Of course, the way you do that is join the Diamond Circle. Easy to do. Click the link down below. Follow me on X, @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on The Paul Barron Show.